New Visa Bulletin alert. Your green card window might be closing. If you are waiting for a green card, you need to pay attention now. The August 2025 Visa Bulletin is here, and it may be your last shot this year. Movement is slowing down. Retrogressions are hitting harder. Cutoff dates are freezing. If you don't act now, you could miss out completely. Trump's new policies are kicking in across USCIS and the State Department. This bulletin reflects those shifts. And not in a good way. We'll break it all down for you. Family petitions, employment-based categories, DV lottery cutoffs, and special immigrant alerts, everything you need to stay in the game. Why August 2025 matters more than ever. This is not just another update. It's the second-to-last bulletin for the fiscal year. If you're not current now, you may not become eligible until late 2026. The State Department just published new final action and filing dates. This tells you exactly when you can move forward. And more importantly, when you can't. If your priority date is not current by September 2025, your case might get rolled over into the next year. That means more delays, more stress, and more uncertainty. Some categories have advanced slightly. Others have slammed into a wall. And in some cases, movement reversed completely. Family-based green cards. Retrogression hits hard. Let's start with family-based categories. The official limit remains 226,000 green cards for fiscal year 2025. But that number does not guarantee availability. In the F1 category for unmarried children of U.S. citizens, the new cutoff for India and most regions is now July 15, 2016. For Mexico, it's dropped way back to April 22, 2005. For the Philippines, the date stands at July 15, 2012. That's over a decade ago. This shows how long the wait has truly become. In F2A, for spouses and minor children of green card holders, most regions are still holding at September 1, 2022. Mexico is slightly worse, at February 1, 2022. In the F2B category for adult unmarried children of green card holders, the date for India and most areas is October 15, 2016. Mexico has fallen back to January 1, 2007. The Philippines remains at April 15, 2012. F3 covers married children of U.S. citizens. This category continues to move slowly. For India and most areas, the new date is August 1, 2011. Mexico is stuck at February 1, 2001. The Philippines at December 1, 2003. In F4, for brothers and sisters of U.S. citizens, most regions are now at January 1, 2008. India remains slightly earlier at November 1, 2006. Mexico is holding at March 15, 2001, while the Philippines is at January 1, 2006. The F2A category stays more current than others, but movement is stalling. F3 and F4 are seeing serious delays, especially for Mexico and the Philippines. Dates for filing. Should you submit now or wait? If you are just preparing your green card application, the dates for filing chart tells you when you can start. These dates matter for planning and document collection. In F1, most countries and India can file if the priority date is before September 1, 2017. Mexico can file only if it's before June 1, 2006. For the Philippines, the date is April 22, 2015. In F2A, every country, including India and Mexico, is now current. That means you can submit your full green card paperwork right away. In F2B, most areas including India are at January 1, 2017. Mexico can file if the priority date is before April 8, 2001. The Philippines remains at October 1, 2013. In F3, most regions and India are at July 22, 2012. Mexico can file only if the priority date is before June 15, 2001. The Philippines sits at December 1, 2004. In F4, most countries are at January 1, 2009. India is at December 1, 2006. Mexico remains frozen at April 30, 2001, while the Philippines can file if their date is before January 1, 2008. Filing dates have seen some soft movement. But most people stuck in backlog-heavy categories are still in limbo. Mexico and the Philippines continue to face the longest waits. Employment-based green cards. Slowdowns and surprises. The employment-based quota remains 140,000 green cards for fiscal year 2025. These are split across 5 preference tiers, with country caps adding more complexity. For EB1, all countries including Mexico and the Philippines remain current. China's cutoff is November 15, 2022. India is stuck at February 15, 2022. In EB2, All areas excluding China and India are at September 1, 2023. China holds at December 15, 2020. India is retrogressed to January 1, 2013. EB3 sees moderate advancement for most. All countries excluding China and India are now at April 1, 2023. China is back at December 1, 2020. India is paused at May 22, 2013. The Philippines is at February 8, 2023. Other workers have slightly worse dates. Most regions are now at July 8, 2021. China is much further behind at May 1, 2017. EB5 unreserved remains current for most regions. China's cutoff is December 8, 2015. India is now at November 15, 2019. Reserved categories may differ. EB4 is still listed as unavailable for August 2025. This continues a months-long freeze that may not lift anytime soon. Employment filing dates. A glimmer of hope? EB1 remains current across all countries except China and India. China can file if their priority date is before January 1, 2023. India's filing date is April 15, 2022. For EB2, most countries are at November 15, 2023. China is at January 1, 2021. India's date is frozen at February 1, 2013. EB3 is slightly more favorable. Most regions can file if their date is before May 1, 2023. China is at December 22, 2020. India is now at June 8, 2013. Other workers can file if their date is before July 22, 2021. China remains at January 1, 2018. These slowdowns could carry into 2026 if demand stays high. EB5 unreserved is fully current for most regions. China can file if their date is before October 1, 2016. India's filing date is April 1, 2022. DV Lottery 2025. Your last month to act. The Diversity Visa program for fiscal year 2025 will issue about 52,000 green cards. This is after accounting for NACRA and NDAA adjustments. For August 2025, regional cutoffs are as follows. Africa is at 50,000. Algeria is just under at 49,950. Egypt is capped at 43,250. Morocco sits at 40,500. Asia is set at 11,000. Iran and Nepal both share a limit of 10,650. Europe's cap is 22,000, with Russia allowed 21,950. Uzbekistan is capped at 13,000. North America remains current. Oceania is capped at 1,700. South America and the Caribbean share a combined limit of 2,600. Use your DV visa before September 30, 2025. If you miss that deadline, your visa number will be lost permanently. Projections for September 2025 show continued demand increases. Africa's expected cap is 58,500. Egypt may max out at 52,000. Iran and Nepal will hit 11,000 and 14,450 respectively. New alerts and policy signals. EB2 categories are seeing regression across the board. Demand is simply too high to sustain forward movement. EB3 and EW categories may become unavailable in September. Watch for a hard stop on those cases in the next bulletin. EB5 has shown forward progress for both India and China. But the future depends on reserved set-asides and congressional limits. Special immigrant visas continue to be available for Afghan and Iraqi nationals. However, new 2024 rules under the NDAA now extend benefits to certain U.S. government workers abroad and their families. If you're in that category, contact your local U.S. embassy immediately for guidance. Final takeaway. Don't wait until it's too late. The August 2025 Visa Bulletin could be your final chance to move forward before the new fiscal year begins. If your date is current, act now. If you're close, get everything ready. Retrogression is accelerating and Trump's policies are tightening every week. Miss this moment and you may be forced to start over next year. Or worse, lose your spot entirely. Stay alert, stay prepared, and stay updated with U.S. immigration intel. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for future updates. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.